Welcome to a new car review on the channel. Today I'm driving a 2021 Tesla Model 3. So in this video I'm going to look at the Model 3 and this Gen 2 version and the upgrades that have been made, and then we're going to take a look at the Tesla brand as a whole and just sort of understand where it's come from and where we think it's going. This video is supported by Iconik Apparel. Iconik Apparel is a specialist cycling clothing company that have a vision to create high quality, long distance cycling apparel that provides performance and comfort in an environmentally sustainable way. Their clothing is designed by cyclists for cyclists, and it's designed in the UK and made in Italy. Check out their Instagram and website at the link below. And also, if you go there, you'll find at the moment that you'll get a 10% discount off your first purchase if you sign up to the website. So Tesla started out in 2008 with the Tesla Roadster, which was loosely based on the Lotus Elise, which is a car which is very close to my heart. Tesla's current lineup includes the Model S, the Model X and the Model 3. At the moment in 2021 the Model Y isn't with us yet, but that's coming in 2022, which is basically the same sort of running gear as the Model 3, but it's more of a sort of a people carrier, higher roofline. There's also a new Roadster in the pipeline, as well as the Cybertruck, which caused quite a stir when it was launched in 2019, and I think it was Elon Musk got somebody to throw a rock at it, and it wasn't supposed to, the windows weren't supposed to break, and they did, unfortunately. The Model 3 comes in three variants. You've got the Standard Range Plus, which is the model that I'm driving today, which at the moment is sort of just over £41,000. The Long Range model that starts at £47,000. And the Performance model, which is £56,500. This model is rear-wheel drive, so it just has the motor at the back, but you can also get an all-wheel drive version with motors in the back and front, which is normally reserved for the Performance models. So currently this model comes in a range of colours. You've got pearl white, which is a no-cost option, and then you've also got grey and black and blue, which are about £1,000 more, and then there's the red colour, which is £2,000 more. This model has the standard aero wheels, which are effectively a hubcap, but they're pretty cool looking, although they're not to everybody's liking. You can pay about £1,500 extra to get the sports wheels, which are a full alloy wheel. So there've been quite a lot of upgrades for the Gen 2, which I'll talk about in a moment, but since its introduction there's been 20 over-the-air updates, because Tesla is very much like a software company. It's constantly moving and they're constantly updating their products, even the ones that you've already bought. For 2021 there's a lot of range improvements across the models for Tesla, and for this upgrade of Gen 2 for the Model 3 we're now up to 267 miles on one charge. So the Gen 2 Model 3 has a new set of optional wheels, 19-inch wheels, and it's got a powered boot, or trunk. Outside, there's new trim, which is now in black rather than the previous chrome, and that's also reflected in the door handles, and that kind of picks up from the newer Model Y. There's a new centre console for the Gen 2 model, which doesn't have the piano black finish that it had before, that sort of got a lot of finger marks on it and that kind of thing. It's more of a matte finish. There's a really deep bin for storing things, and there's also a couple of wireless charging mats as well for charging phones that accept wireless charging. There's also new blacked out door sills as well, which look really nice with the Model 3 logo on them. Quite a significant development for this Gen 2 model is the heat pump HVAC system, which now uses less power from the battery to run the air conditioning unit. I think this was pretty much introduced in the Model Y as well, but now it's carried over to the new version of the Model 3. One of the things that's interesting about this particular car is this is a very early 2021 model, and you can tell that by the fact that the dashboard doesn't extend into the doors. So this one it means that this one was made in America, whereas the newer models from sort of March onwards in the UK have a little bit of dash trim that extends into the door, and that tells you, rather bizarrely, that it's made in China. There are now 5 USB ports after Tesla added one extra in the glove box. There's also a USB-A port as well for storing dashcam footage and for Sentry mode footage as well. There's also more efficient tyres to help the range, and this one is fitted with Michelin Pilot Sports. So from a driving point of view, I'm really impressed. The car grips well and the steering is rather precise. You can really feel the low centre of gravity as well in the corners, and the suspension is firm, but it's quite compliant, so it's kind of the best of both worlds really. So we hear quite a lot nowadays with electric cars about regenerative braking and one pedal driving. This Tesla Model 3 is fitted with regenerative braking, and but it has two modes. It has standard mode and low mode. Some people have talked about in standard mode that they feel the brakes are a little bit grabby and it can take them by surprise, but I actually quite like it. This is really the first electric car that I've driven and first car that has regenerative braking. I have driven a Renault Twizy, but that probably doesn't really count. But as I say, I'm new to it. It's the first time I've experienced it, and I find it sort of quite confidence building. I quite like it. A lot of the time when people do videos about Tesla, it's normally about the acceleration, and a lot of people are getting a little bit bored with that now. But one of the things I've found while driving this car is it's a very relaxing experience. It's very much like driving an automatic car, but with the assistance of the regenerative braking, as I've already mentioned. But it's a nice airy cabin. It's a nice place to be. You've got this full glass panoramic roof, and it's very easy to use. So one of the things that's most noticeable about the Model 3, coming out of an ICE car like myself, is the low down torque. If I floor the accelerator, just torque all the way, there's no let up up into way when you would lose your license. So it is something you've got to be aware of. Driving that Porsche 911 recently, it's that kind of thrust feeling. Obviously with the Porsche you get a lot more noise with the car, so you're really sensing that speed from all of where you've come from with cars, that you understand the engine is making more noise, the revs are building, so you understand that speed. With this, it's just about being pushed back in the chair and the laws of physics on your chest. So it's difficult to kind of think whether people actually need that when they're going shopping in this kind of car, because it isn't a sports car, but it's got that sort of crazy level of acceleration. But the torque is really useful if you use it in a sensible way, to get you away from situations or to get you out of situations very quickly. So the interior is the place where the Model 3 differs the most from like the Model S before its recent upgrade. It's a very sort of Spartan interior, but it's more, well, maybe Spartan's the wrong word, it's more minimal. It's very much lots of horizontal lines, lots of open spaces, all very neutral. This one has a little bit of sort of wood trim as well, which is a standard option. So it's a really, really nice place to be. All of the materials are quite soft touch. It feels well put together. A lot of people have talked about problems with build quality, and I'm sure there are a few niggles with things. We've noticed on the outside of this, some of the panel gaps probably aren't quite as precise as you'd expect from things like Porsche or maybe Audi. And the general overall look is a sort of modernism, minimalism as well. And there's little things that really stand out. Obviously the screen makes the whole area feel really high tech, and the full panoramic glass sunroof is something that sort of stands out as something which is a little bit special. So from a visibility point of view, you've got a nice big screen that sort of wraps up well over your sort of line of vision at the top. The A-pillars are a little bit chunky, but probably one of the things that's most noticeable is that the view out of the back is quite small and quite narrow, so it's quite difficult to see things. One of the things that causes that problem is that the rear view mirror is surprisingly small. It is rimless, but it's quite a small rear view mirror, so you do find yourself moving your head around a little bit, even when you think you've got the angle right. So one of the things that is light years ahead of its rivals is this 15-inch infotainment or screen. It's not just infotainment, it's different features for the car. Some people have complained that it sort of takes your eye away from your driving. I think it does if you delve into it too much and you get a little bit carried away with doing some of the media, and maybe some of the controls would be nicer if they were physical. I think one of the things that's good about the new Mustang, or the Mustang E, Mach-E, is the fact that it does have some physical controls kind of integrated into the screen, and I think a lot of road testers have said that sort of thing, and I think they're right. I think it's nice to have a mixture of physical things. It might be nice if it had a head-up display so I could see some of the kind of speed information rather than having to glance at the screen for the speed. I could see it right in front of me. So with the touchscreen interface, it's not laggy. It is, like I said, it's very much kind of state of the art and ahead of its rivals. There's no lag. A lot of the functions are really easy to find. There's a main menu across the bottom of the screen, which makes it easy and quick to flick between the different modes. And of course, the things that you can get, YouTube and Netflix and also Spotify and all your music as well, will certainly keep the kids happy. I think one of the things people always worry about with an electric car is charging and range anxiety, and that's obviously where Tesla wins head and shoulders above everybody else at the moment. I know Chris Harris recently said that, I think it was the Volkswagen Group had done a survey and they worked out that Tesla was 6 years ahead of even them. So one of the things that's great about the Tesla from the interface point of view, and just really from an ownership point of view, is the fact that the navigation on here shows you where all the supercharger points are, and so you know where they are, you know you're never too far away from them, and also the navigation will automatically route you to those superchargers and give you information about whether they're available, whether they're all currently taken, those kind of things. So from somebody who might have range anxiety, the fact that the battery technology on this car is so advanced, and you've got 267 miles anyway, which isn't far off a regular ICE car, but also the fact that you've got that far superior charging network, is a really big plus for this Model 3 and also all the other Tesla range as well. From a practicality point of view, the seats are really, really comfortable. They're electrically adjusted, so they're really easy to sort of get in the sweet spot. And they do feel quite high initially, but you can actually lower them down. Leg room in the back is pretty good as well. It's kind of comparable to a 3 Series. And the boot is 542 litres. And the lip's not too high, and it's a really nice kind of shape in there. You can get plenty of cases in. And of course you've got the electric opening tailgate as well, which is really easy to use and just makes it that little bit more practical. Another thing that will give you confidence in a Tesla is that if you take it to the supercharging network, you can go from 0 to 80% in 20 minutes. Obviously that's going to go down if you're not using the supercharger network, but they're really well dotted around the country and they're really easy to find with the Tesla's navigation. Another thing that can give you real confidence in a Tesla is that the Tesla models had one of the highest ever Euro NCAP ratings recently. One of the things I really find interesting about Tesla itself, or the Tesla brand, is that it seems really popular with all age groups, all the way from kids all the way through to grown-ups like myself. I think that comes from the fact that it's more of a tech-based company. You've also got Elon Musk with SpaceX and people seeing him as a bit of an Iron Man type character. So, and the Silicon Valley roots really help with this sort of Apple type product or electronics type product image. So that's partly probably the reason why it appeals to kids, as well as the big touchscreen and all the tech. But Tesla as a brand feels really progressive, and you really feel that in the cars, that it feels modern, progressive and innovative, and I think that's part of the excitement. Honda have gone to sort of great lengths to tell us and sort of sell us on the Honda E as an Apple type product, but I don't think with its Silicon Valley origins, I don't think you get more of an Apple type product than these cars. They really are, even how you buy them on the website, you can buy them and then just have them delivered to your door. And also, when I went to America, you see a lot of the dealerships are all in shopping malls. So the sort of buying experience is very much like walking into the Apple store. I think that's a really good thing. I think people see this as a product just like a phone. Chris Harris talked on a podcast recently about how evangelical Tesla buyers are. They're quite happy to go and pick up a £40,000 car at the docks and be given the key card and say, all of the white ones are over there, go and find it. They don't need all of the fluff that comes with it. So can you be a petrol head with an electric car? Well, I think you can, because when you think this is at the cutting edge of electric vehicles and it's still early days, and there's lots of companies like Pininfarina and all sorts of people working on adding character to electric cars. So, you know, as time goes on, people are putting more and more effort into this new technology. We've got it working in the Tesla and they've done a brilliant job of it. Now we can hone it and refine it and turn it into an experience for enthusiasts. So from a looks point of view, it is a little bit forgettable. It does look like a Ford Mondeo, you could say. It's interesting that children notice them. You know, kids who are, you know, the next generation of petrol heads do notice the car. So it's not just about the looks though, it's the fact that it's a very progressive, very forward-thinking tech product that appeals to people. And I think there still is a little bit of mystique and a little bit of magic about the Tesla brand. Just lately then, you do start to see quite a lot of Model 3s around, even though it's quite a high entry price point at £41,000. Last year, it looks as though they sold about 30,000 in the UK or thereabouts, and in December alone, they sold 6,000. One of the reasons for that is from sort of early last year, the company car tax advantage of having a Model 3 really kicked in, and the different, you know, the savings that you can make having this as a company car monthly are quite incredible. And then you add on to that you're making quite a lot of savings in petrol as well. So to sum up then, my thoughts on the Model 3. If you're going to move from an A4 like me or a BMW 3 Series or something like that, there really is nothing to worry about. I've been driving it most of the day. I've still got 138 miles left in the battery charge. Now I've really enjoyed my time with the Model 3. This is the way things are going to go. Demand for EVs has gone up 200%, and about 100,000 EVs were sold in the UK last year. And there is something about Tesla. Maybe it's the screen in front, maybe it's the Silicon Valley roots that I've mentioned, maybe it's the connection with Elon Musk. It just feels like quite an exciting car to be in. It's very much of the moment. I mean, you can see that on YouTube. You know, YouTubers get excited about Teslas and Lamborghinis, and there's got to be a reason for that. You know, a lot of the people that are into those things are the younger generation, so they see this as the future, and it is nice to be part of that, to be driving something that does feel as though you're looking forward, you know, you're looking forward to the future. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. More car reviews to come on the channel in the coming months. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you get the chance, and maybe also hit the notification bell. It all helps with the algorithm and helps people find the videos, or the people that are interested in the videos. Anyway, bye for now.